So how scared or mindful should you be about the deadly/dangerous animals in Costa Rica? Welcome to my video of today. My name is Muriel and I make videos since I live in Costa Rica thanks to the many questions. And the reason for today's video about Costa Rica dangers according to venomous and deadly and dangerous animals, I received from a loyal subscriber and someone who's watching my YouTube videos. And this is what she wrote. Her name is Alandra, and I dedicate this video to her because she requested information about dangerous animals in Costa Rica. She wrote this: can you do a video on how worried or careful people really need to be regarding poisonous snakes in the water and land, or disease carrying mosquitoes or other bugs that can seriously harm people? I can't figure out if this is an exaggerated threat or if it's something that you would be on the outlook for daily. Oh, isn't that a great question? That is something that I haven't seen people making very practical videos about. So I'm stepping up, I'm making one today. Not from my own property, because I am, as Costa Rica expat, visiting Santa Ana for a combination of things. I'm bringing away my daughter to the airport. She's flying for a round tour around the world starting tomorrow. And I did some dental work in Santa Ana, San Jose, but that is for other videos. That's why you see me with clean clothes, clean hair, clean nails, because I'm not at the countryside where I live. I am in downtown Santa Ana in a really nice and comfortable Airbnb. And I prepared this video for you to inform you the best way on how to protect yourself and or your family members if you're coming to Costa Rica for all the Costa Rica dangers according to animals. So I have about 6 types of animals that are well known to be dangerous for people, and I'm just also of course going to share my personal point of view on how to deal with the dangers of Costa Rica and my experiences so far. I'm sure that there will be people watching who know way more than I do, but unfortunately they're not making videos, so I am hoping to inspire you and teach you something new today. Before I'm gonna dive right in, this is an open invite. Consider to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that yet. Hit the bell so you get notified every time I upload new Costa Rica content. I stand for information sharing. This is not just, how do you say that, useless videos. I make videos about things that people ask me. So thank you for that. And with that being said, let's dive right in. And before I'm gonna continue, for those purely wonder how do you make your living from Costa Rica or wherever in the world, because I'm not always in Costa Rica, I am an online life and business coach. I work from my laptop and I teach people how to build their business online the same way that I have done that. I've built multiple income streams, but I especially am very passionate about my coaching programs, my books, my education that I created in order for others to show exactly how I've done creating my online business, allowing me to live and work from my home in Costa Rica together with my kids where I live. And even I'm proud to say that my daughter is building her online business herself. She just became 18. So go to the description below for information about that. And now, as promised, let's dive in the dangerous animals and my point of view about that. So first of all, it is a fact. Yes, there are absolute deadly animals in Costa Rica. And how likely is it that you are going to meet one of them? Well, it is a reasonable threat for sure. So I'm not gonna just wrap things up and make it nice and shiny. Costa Rica has many deadly animals, but if you choose to come to Costa Rica, you can benefit from the beautiful wildlife. And there's a big awareness factor that you should have while going through Costa Rica, exploring Costa Rica. So where in the Netherlands you can just jump in any river, but you will have to face the danger of jumping on a bicycle rack that might be at the bottom of the river that can really hurt you. It sounds ridiculous, but I'm from the Netherlands, right? Where a lot of bicycles are just rusting in the rivers. But here, if you jump in a river and there are living crocodiles there, you might be eaten up alive by a croc. It is a reasonable danger here in Costa Rica. And perhaps it sounds like a weird comparison, but let's just summarize the dangers, okay? I looked the stats up, right? So there are about 150 types of snakes in Costa Rica, and there are a couple of very venomous snakes. Yes, they can kill people if you do not get the anti-venom within 2 hours. And then I'm talking about the terciopelo, that is a green, yellowish, not very poisonous looking like snake. He has greenish colors, because most people know that if an animal has very bright colors, it's more or less Mother Nature's way of warning you, danger, danger, danger. But this snake has the colors of a boa, really. But boas are just a danger for smaller animals, because they can just, choke you or choke animals and eat them as a whole. But this is really about poisonous snakes. So there's a couple. There's a rattlesnake. There is this snake, and there's another snake. I think there's 3 most deadly snakes in Costa Rica. So what should you know to protect yourself and or your family if you still want to come to Costa Rica, now that you're aware of it? So first of all, I have seen about 5 times while living here for 4 years in Costa Rica a snake. It's really rare, because snakes are not really fond of people. The only reason why you probably see a snake is because you're in a wild park, or you are just you have chicken, friends with chicken, and boas love chicken, or like in dark corners, abandoned houses, sheds whatsoever. Yeah, I found snakes in my shed. And you should always be careful with sticking your hands in holes or under rocks, or don't do it. Costa Rica is the land of snakes, and wildlife. So be aware that just be aware this is not a zoo where the dangerous animals are behind bars. This is their country. So by being aware of what you should not do, you can prevent a lot of harm, right? So, practical. If you're thinking about living in Costa Rica with children, or just vacationing in Costa Rica with children, be aware that high grass is yummy, fun, and comfortable for snakes and also other animals I will touch on. Snakes love high grass. Now, also, snakes do not just come to you to attack you. Snakes often only bite you when you are threatening them. So, if you are on bare feet or just without boots walking through high grass, you might come in the area, in the inner circle of a snake, so he will only bite you to protect himself. So you made a mistake by walking there. So I always say never walk through high grass unprotected or without any reason. So if your kiddos are just playing around on a property or in an Airbnb, I just teach them to not play outside of the paths or go into the wild just unprotected. It's just dumb. And be aware where the nearest by hospital is, because if you are bitten by a snake, you have no clue what type of snake. Most snakes are not deadly or poisonous, but that in case of these venomous snakes, you should get the anti-venom fast. So have transportation, know how to get to the nearest hospital, which have most likely, I cannot guarantee it, it's up to you to inform that, have the anti-venom in the house. So yeah, if you're really off grid somewhere, you're jungling and exploring, then don't be naive about these things. Inform yourself, because there are wild animals living here, right? But however, I cannot highlight enough, I have not seen more than 5 times a snake, because they're afraid of people, and I'm very mindful, and I teach my kids the same. I hope that helps you according to snakes. but there's more dangerous. The crocodiles, the rivers. Costa Rica is awesome for rivers. I have a property with a river next door, and I have never seen a crocodile. To be sure that if there's crocodiles, I would advise you talk to the locals. Just ask local people, have they seen crocodiles? Is it an alarming river to not have your kids or your pets play in there, right? Be aware that you're a visitor and share the country, the land with those animals. Overall, it's very well known where there's likely to be crocodiles or not. But the key is crocodiles are deadly. They're dangerous, they see you as a prey, and you don't want to swim in rivers where there's crocodiles. Don't even trigger crocodiles for fun, thinking, oh, he's so far away, because they are super fast. I did a crocodile tour at the Crocodiles river, and those crocodiles are so impressively big and fast. You cannot joke around with the wildlife, okay? So that's actually a really cool, fun tour to do, the Crocodiles River tour. I will put some links around my video so you can look it up. But don't be naive, about swimming in the jungle. However, it's no reason for not doing it. If the locals say it's kind of safe, do it. Also do not just walk around full of fear all the time in Costa Rica. I live so happy here for 4 years with 2 growing up kids. So I want to inspire you with that. What is also well known to be a very deadly animal is the jaguar and the bigger cats. However, they are so rare. If you are one day seeing one, you must call yourself lucky, and it's really not likely that it will attack you to eat you or to hurt you. It will probably run away if you do boo. Or I don't know why a jaguar would attack you, right? It's not really likely, more or less. I hope that I assure you that there's no fear for that. Although, just be aware of where you're walking and what you're doing. A lot of misunderstanding is about Scorpios. Also for me, until recently, I was stung by a Scorpio. I've heard rumors are that the very small Scorpios cannot really dose their poison, their venom, and there can be very hurtful or even kill people. That is a rumor. However, I was stung by a very small Scorpio and it felt like a bee sting. Nothing more, nothing less. It was painful, but I'm not allergic, so the pain just went by like that. But Scorpios are not deadly. I looked it up in an article. Scorpios are not deadly. I think I wrote it in an article of the Tico Times, but there's many of articles sharing the same information. So just be cautious. Teach your kids to not pick up stones and put their hands in places like where Scorpios can be hiding. And what do Scorpios do? They hide in dark, cozy places like shoes, dirty laundry, warm dark suitcases. So just keep your house clean and keep stuff off the ground. And if you're really allergic to all these animals, be sure to rent a place that is a little bit lifted off the ground, like a tree house, or I also know a lot of casitas or bungalows and Airbnbs are built on a little bit higher above the ground, and that keeps a lot of Scorpios outside. So what I do know is that Scorpios carry all their babies on their backs. It's pretty impressive, and those tiny Scorpios, they look like ants, but they just grow kind of fast, and yeah, they can sting you, but they're part of the wildlife in Costa Rica and not deadly. So be aware. Then another deadly animal, I must say, dangerous animal, are the frogs. Now I have experience not with the very colorful small frogs that you see on many Costa Rica related pictures, but just a normal dark green looking frog. I have 3 dogs, and one of my dogs licked a frog and it's a big dog, so he has a lot of, big size. he licked a frog, and he was standing with white stuff out of his mouth. He was totally not on this planet anymore. He seemed to be hallucinating, and he fell. So he was kind of influenced by the poison, right? Obvious. So it is a danger. It can be a huge danger for pets, especially for dogs. So teach your dog to stay away from frogs. It's up to the owner, I believe, to teach your dogs that, but also if you have young kids, never touch a frog, okay? The poisonous frogs are really poisonous, but you should just keep your hands in your pockets, what you always should do. Also, when you see monkeys, never feed monkeys. They can bite, they can get used to the food that people give them and will more likely attack your bag to see if there's food to find. But how do you say that? Originally, monkeys are not a danger for people. Why would they attack people? But since tourists start to feed monkeys, there are situations where monkeys bit people, but they're not deadly for humans, right? If that makes sense. So to come back to the question, do you have to be on the outlook all day for deadly animals? I would say no. But there's another example. It's about ants. Can they kill people? No, they cannot kill people. Can they cause harm and pain? Yes, absolutely. There are a lot of types of ants to stay away from and be aware of. Well, there are ants. They're called bullet ants. They really look like this big. And why would you go with your finger to an ant to touch it? Don't do it. Teach your kids that. But it can happen that you're in an area where ants are and you're not paying attention because you're hiking on flip-flops, which I often do. And ants are just, you're crossing a line of ants traveling through the forest. Yeah, they probably will bite you because you're in the way and you're a threat for them. And I have had many pain. I was bitten by a bullet ant, and they are huge. But on my property, in my area, they are tiny. I call them mini ants, and they are so small, but you have no clue how much the bite of one mini ant can hurt you. I've heard kids screaming out loud because they cannot handle the pain, but it's not deadly. It just hurts a lot and the pain will just slowly go away. They are so small and so often you don't see them, but they're active in the daytime, in the nighttime, and they live underground. And basically our property is stuffed with those nests of those ants. They just live there. So we are just cautious where their houses are and not walk on bare feet there. What happens often is in restaurants where a lot of food is dropping underneath the tables, those ants are building their homes underground there. And yeah, when you're on bare feet or on flip-flops, they will come out and just literally, they are very aggressive. They just bite. Even if you don't hurt them, they're on your feet. They probably 9 out of 10 times will just bite you, even without you hurting them. And that will just go away. It's just pain, it's not deadly. Of course, in all cases, if you are allergic to insect bites like bees and ants and stuff, then it's a different story. I cannot highlight that enough. You should know what to do when you have just a regular bee sting. Get some anti-venom that you can bring with you to just prevent that you're swelling up and can choke whatsoever, right? But I want you to take responsibility for that yourself. But I was not done with dangerous animals. Sharks are a big danger as well. However, it depends on how you look at it. Yeah, there are hammer sharks. They can be quite dangerous. And it's well known that there are sharks who can swim upriver. So again, just jumping blindly in a river without checking out if other people and if locals do it, that's just dumb and naive. But that doesn't mean that you cannot swim in the ocean without being bitten by a shark. There's even sharks in the Netherlands, and it's well known that there are some people swimming in the Netherlands that had some bites of sharks. But naturally, sharks are not in the same area as humans. They just don't like each other. However, the habitats overall, with all these dangerous animals in Costa Rica, the habitats are getting smaller. And that means that people and animals are living closer next to each other. That means that it's more likely that you're going to meet a dangerous animal. And then I think as a human being, it's up to you as your responsibility to know what to do. Not the animal, it's the world of these animals, and we're just living close by. My daughter is making jokes. So I'm here with my daughter, I don't know what she's saying. What? Oh yeah, crocodiles. Oh, I already covered it, baby. She's coaching me. It doesn't matter. Yeah, much fun. I'm here with my daughter in Santa Ana because I shared it before. By the way, my daughter can confirm that she never saw a wild animal that can really be a threat for her life. Because she said, "Oh, you're making a video about what?" And she said, "Snakes. I think I saw one once on the road. It was a boa. It wasn't venomous. It wasn't dangerous at all." But sharks, yeah, there are sharks. Just know where to surf, where not to surf. You know, there are spots in South Africa where there's big white sharks jumping on the beaches to hunt the sea wolves there. And there are still surfers there. They choose to surf there. If you know the danger, you can act on it. But I don't think that you have to stay out of the oceans because you heard one story that someone was bitten by a shark. It's not really likely. I never saw a shark myself. But however, there are stories well known for me as well in my area in Santa Teresa. Really less than a year ago, in a very busy visited beach restaurant, there was a crocodile of 6 meters. It came out of the ocean, and it came from the river and was just swimming there, and a lot of people were in panic and didn't know what to do. They were making pictures and walking towards the crocodile, who was laying in the sand in the sun, and just approached it up to 2-3 meters away from it. And that's just stupid. Don't be stupid. Come on. Always, before you put on your shoes, clean them, check them on the inside before you hang up laundry, or after you got the laundry from the line. Some wasps or animals can just crawl in your sleeves whatsoever because it's nice and cozy. Be aware of what's living here. And that also brings me to mosquitoes, finally, to wrap up my video with, yeah, they can carry diseases like dengue. And I looked up what's the harm of dengue, because a lot of people had dengue. I had dengue. But yeah, dengue is totally not, you should not think lightly about dengue. But it's not, the dengue is spread by mosquitoes that you can recognize with the white stripes. And there is treatment, how do you say that? You can clean the area. If it's well known that there's lots of dengue in town, you can apply for a cleaning spray team that will just kill all the eggs and the mosquitoes, because everyone benefits from not having dengue mosquitoes around. And what can you do? You know, I would always say protect yourself from mosquito bites because it's uncomfortable. But besides being uncomfortable and being itchy, yeah, it can spread diseases like dengue. Just sleep underneath a mosquito net, and I use mosquito spray, or just protect yourself with long sleeves and long pants, and I'm sitting outside my property with socks on and a hoodie on and long pants on to not be bitten by mosquitoes. Well, I don't mind doing that because it helps against mosquito bites. So you can anticipate on that really well, but to stay away from Costa Rica for the snakes, the scorpios, the ants, the crocs, the sharks, and the mosquitoes, no, I would just say just come to Costa Rica and live around it. Be aware of it, depending on which area you are. I'll talk to the locals, listen to stories around you, join a Facebook community group fitting the area where you're living, and just be aware of it. And I'm just summarizing now. If you think that you've been bitten by a venomous snake, a really killer, be sure to act quickly. Go to the nearest by hospital within 2 hours to get the treatment, the anti-venom. And then I just, right now I'm in Santa Ana. This is Costa Rica too. This is the apartment where I'm sitting. I don't think there's really wildlife here crawling around, guys, so just don't make it too big than needed, but awareness is key. And be aware of that you're entering the property of wild animals. So it's up to us, expats, tourists, to anticipate on that with respect, without harming animals. They just live here. So I think it's not that bad as the question was about. No, I don't think you should be on the outlook every second of the day, but tell your kids absolutely not what to do and absolutely what they can do to have them have a pleasant time without any stress about taking every step, right? And with that being said, I hope that you enjoyed my video, and yeah, for anyone who is also new in my videos, let me hear your comments below. What brought you to my video, if you have questions. And for those who are curious how I ended up making videos, I will add now a small video telling you more about myself, about what I do, why I do what I do, and a little bit about my story. And with that being said, yeah, thank you so much for watching and stick to the very end, and looking forward to hearing from you, and who knows, to meet you in Costa Rica one day. Bye for now.